Hey Mitch, what's up?
Oh, social distancing.
Oh yeah, I'm thoroughly sheltered in place. I'm playing Doom Eternal, but it's not exactly taking me away from this hell on Earth.
Have you been playing Animal Crossing?
A little bit, but I'm having problems getting into it, which is weird because it's kind of the perfect escape for all this insanity.
What are you having issues with?
The whole time structure thing is bumming me out. I wish there was a way to maximize my time playing it.
Oh, I got you.
Actually, I've got all of you. The time element in Animal Crossing New Horizons can be confusing, so I put together a survival guide that will have you paying off Tom Nook in no time. First, get the pocket organizer and the tool wheel as quickly as possible. Being able to carry more items at once pays dividends all game long. The more you can carry, the more you can sell, and the more bells you can make. It works like compounding interest in your 401k. What's left of it anyway. With these upgrades, you can carry every tool you need and still have plenty of room. The tool wheel also makes accessing each tool quick and easy. It's especially handy when a bug is starting to get away. So you've upgraded from a tent to a house and now you're in debt to that shyster Tom Nook for 98,000 bells. How will you ever pay it off? There's a quick and easy way. Every chance you get to spend 2,000 Nook miles you earn from achievements, go to a private island. Pillage it for everything it's worth. Again, this is where a bigger inventory is helpful. Prioritize fruits and unique fish and bugs, intentionally break easily crafted tools so you can pick up a few extras. When you get back, you'll be tempted to use what you scavenged, but sell it all instead. Each trip in the island can get you up to 40,000 bells, so you can pay off that home in no time. You might be in a situation where you don't have 2,000 Nook miles because you went for broke on the nice barbecue grill. That's okay, just make sure you complete the Nook Smiles Plus achievements. Some are as simple as spending 5,000 bells, but they give you stamps towards the next goal. That's 1,200 Nook miles alone. They add up. Make sure to diversify. If you keep fishing or wood collecting, you'll fail to hit the larger goals for big payouts. One of the big new features of New Horizons is extensive connectivity. Having friends over sounds like a good time, and it mostly is, but with some caveats. When you have visitors on your island, you're drastically limited on what you can do. You can still collect resources and sell them, but you can't talk to Nook or complete bigger tasks that move the game forward. We also ran into a case where we had to boot someone off our island and lost everything we had while they were there. In the early going, resist the urge to open the gate that allows other players to visit. When people do come by, communication can be cumbersome using the on-screen keyboard to chat. The game's companion app allows you to type on your smartphone, and we highly recommend it. Despite these tips, there will be times where the best thing to do is just wait for the next day. When you get to the point where all you're doing is catching the same fish, netting the same bugs, and planting the same trees, it's time to turn it off and wait for dawn at 5 a.m.
Hey, thanks for your help with Animal Crossing. Maybe this quarantine stuff isn't so bad.
Yeah, we still got the show done somehow.
It's not going to get any easier next week, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, God bless technology and video games.
Hi, I'm Shane Satterfield for SIFTD News, and welcome to The Big Six, the 6 biggest news stories from gaming for the week ending Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. There's little left to the imagination around Xbox Series X, and after this week, details around PlayStation 5 are also becoming much clearer. PlayStation's lead hardware architect, Mark Cerny, shared the final specs for PlayStation 5 this week to a mixed response. While the raw numbers appear to be slightly lower than Xbox Series X, its architecture should allow for near on-par performance. The biggest criticism has sprung from its anemic backwards compatibility. However, this feature has not proven to move the needle in the past. COVID-19 continues to wreak havoc across the games industry, but the damage to GameStop may be self-inflicted. The games retailer has been struggling for quite some time, and in its desperation, it tried to deem itself as essential retail during the coronavirus outbreak. Making matters worse, a conference call was infiltrated where its management explained procedures to protect itself while forcing its workers into stores. Local governments stepped in and forced GameStop stores to close, but the damage has already been done. Being trapped inside isn't so bad if you have a great video game to play, and that has spurred on record sales for Animal Crossing New Horizons for Switch. The game has debuted at the top of the UK sales charts as the best-selling Switch game in that territory ever. At least one Japanese retailer has said it's the best-selling Switch game of all time. It also said it's the most any single game has sold in a week. It appears that Nintendo's cute life simulator has launched at just the right time. It was a big week for Call of Duty news. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered appeared on the Korean ratings board website after rumors were swirling over a year ago about the project. A potential first leak of information for Call of Duty Black Ops 5 also surfaced, claiming it will be a realistic and gory reboot of the first game with all new actors. The leak goes on to state that Treyarch is at the helm of the project after it floundered at another developer. It's not just console gamers who are diving into their favorite hobby during the lockdown. PC players are also dedicating their time. Valve's PC game storefront Steam broke its concurrent users record on March 21st, 2020, when 22 million people were logged into the service at the same time. This was one day after reaching 21 million and 6 days after reaching 20 million. The previous record of 18.5 million was set during the PUBG craze of 2018. According to a leaked promotional video, Tales from the Borderlands is being re-released, and it's also getting a sequel. The story-driven spin-off of Gearbox's loot shooter has been well received by both critics and fans, but it was feared the sequel died when its developer, Telltale Games, folded. According to the video, the re-release of the first game will include a brand new chapter. Both games are expected before the end of 2020. That's it for the Big Six. I'm Shane Satterfield for SIFTD News. We'll see you next week.
Hey guys, it's time for Turn Up Tuesday, where we pick the games, albums, movies, and TV shows we think are worth your attention and money. The hot game releases just keep on coming. It's already been a great month and it's going to finish strong. If you love RPGs and want to warm up to Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 3 is available now for PC. The series is one of the most underrated in the genre and follows a school for the gifted, not unlike Professor Xavier's X-Men. Now you're an instructor who must mold the next generation of warriors. Combat has been streamlined this time around so you can spend most of your time in the turn-based battles. A Switch version is on its way later this year. Like many anime and manga, there's no shortage of One Piece video games. In addition to a lengthy campaign, Pirate Warriors 4 also includes 4 new online co-op modes. Entirely Dynasty Warriors with a one-piece paint job, this series has done pretty well with critics in the past. Walk the plank on Friday when it releases for all major platforms. If you prefer your combat with blunt force objects, Ninja Theory's Bleeding Edge launches for PC and Xbox One today. Take control of one of 11 different characters in this 4 vs 4 brawler. It's like a MOBA Lite, but still has enough depth that you really need to commit. With multiple classes to choose from, teamwork is required to succeed, so dust off that chat headset before jumping in. It's $30 or part of Game Pass. Remedy's Control was at the top of the Game of the Year lists in 2019. Now you can step back inside the oldest house with the first expansion called The Foundation. Marshall has gone missing, and as the director, it's your job to find her. There's new environments to explore, new abilities, and 4 or 5 hours of play to work through. It launches for PS4 Thursday, but Xbox One owners will have to wait until June 25th. Dust off that VR headset because one of the most anticipated games of 2020, Half-Life Alyx, is here. Taking place somewhere between the first game and Half-Life 2, the plot's still shrouded in mystery. We do know that it keeps the same potent formula of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. The new tool is the Gravity Glove, which makes all the fancy VR controls sling with joy. Valve fans will be doing the same since it's been over 15 years since the developer last touched the IP. It sure looks like a long-awaited killer app for VR, and best of all, it plays on just about every headset. If you're looking for some new tunes to take away your coronavirus blues, we've got you covered. Electro-pop group Little Dragon are festival darlings. They tour constantly, which is why it's surprising that their new album New Me Same Us is releasing just 2 years after the last one. This LP veers more towards 4-on-4 house beats with reggae-influenced bass lines, and it's out on Friday. Staying with electronic music, one of the godfathers of the ambient genre returns when the Orb releases Abolition of the Royal Familia on Friday. They never managed to reascend to the little fluffy clouds they reached with their debut in 1991, but their albums still feature great music of dubby house tracks with floating ambient dreams. It's great comfort in these unsure times. We emerge from the underground to present the biggest album release of the week, Pearl Jam's Gigaton. It's been a long 7 years since the grunge pioneers last recorded something new, so anticipation is high. It's definitely a lot different, with some tracks sounding more like the Talking Heads than Nirvana. Keyboards and drum machines are also brought to the fore, so it'll be interesting to see the response. Now let's talk movies and streaming. With theaters being shut down due to the CDC recommendations, movie studios are now rethinking how to get their movies to you instead of you to the movies. An on-demand model is emerging where you can rent a movie for 48 hours. Some even allow you to purchase the movie outright. The Invisible Man, The Hunt, and Emma are available to rent right now. You'll also be able to rent Trolls World Tour day and date with its theatrical release on April 10th. Some movies that have been out in theaters for a while will be available to purchase earlier than usual. Both Birds of Prey and The Gentleman can be purchased right now. Of the two, we recommend Birds of Prey. We're big fans of how the producers respect its comic book source material, but it will likely be available for rent in a short order if you want to spend less. We here at SIFTD have one show on Netflix we think is extremely underrated. That show is Ozark. All 10 episodes of Season 3 launch on Friday. Join the Bird family as they're forced to the Ozarks to launder money for the Mexican drug cartel. The only thing is money tends to bring out the worst in people, and boy does it ever. Jason Bateman does some career-changing acting and directing, so comparisons to Breaking Bad and Bryan Cranston are apt. Every episode has you on the edge of your seat, so we recommend binging the first 2 seasons to prepare.
Hi, and welcome to Closet Raiders, where we take a look at some of the very coolest stuff that I've received being a part of the games industry for the last 20 plus years. In a prior episode, I mentioned that Rockstar Games is going to be featured on this show a lot because across the last couple decades, it has undoubtedly delivered the coolest swag. And once again, we have something from Rockstar Games for this episode. Now, this thing is very big, it's very heavy. I'm really curious what you guys think it might be. Let's open it up and take a look. So let's see what's inside here. And the moment of truth. I can get it out. And there it is. It is a Grand Theft Auto 4 dartboard. Now, like a lot of stuff that I show off in this show, and I'll spin it around so you can really see the logo. Like a lot of stuff in this show, I've never opened this. And again, like a lot of stuff on this show that I tell you that I actually keep, which isn't a lot, I keep stuff that I think I'll be able to use in a home that I think I'm gonna have one day, but I probably never will. Another one of those things where I didn't want to give it away because I hoped one day I would own a home and I could put this in my man cave and I would have the most awesome dartboard ever. So this is it. It's standard competition size. It's really heavy. It weighs like 13 pounds, which means hanging it on the wall could be a major pain in the butt. And let's see if there are actually any darts that come included with this thing. Again, I've not opened this yet to know. There's something in there. That could be mounting hardware. And that's all there is. So if there's no darts in here, it does not come with any darts. Let's take a look. Oh, there's the tips. And there's what looks like mounting hardware. Oh, and look, there are actually GTA branded darts in here. So here are the tips. I'll put those out there. And then the feathers on the darts are actually branded Grand Theft Auto 4 with characters from the game. And if you flip it over, it's a different character, but all the darts are the same. One side is one girl, one side is the other. And you obviously have to put these darts together before you can play it.
Ten new games were announced this week, but we're here to sift the wheat from the chaff. Welcome to Noobs. Rally racing games have become exceedingly rare this generation, but the WRC franchise hasn't given up. WRC 9 may seem like the next in line of endless sequels, but the series has improved with every single outing. The last entry has an 80 Metacritic rating, and this one is adding Kenya's iconic Safari Rally, New Zealand's North Island, and asphalt courses from Japan. It's also the first racing game announced for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. It launches September 3rd for current platforms, with next generation and Switch to follow. Have you ever wanted to be like John Wick? Go into a room, kick some ass, and take some names? Well, Fights in Tight Spaces gives you just that. It's a turn-based strategy game, uses a card system for attacks. Its action movie tone and distinctive look will be ready to rumble on PC this summer. Ever since Silent Hill's PT demo was released, indies have been trying to replicate it. The Signifier for PC is the closest yet. You are Frederick Russell, the creator of the Dreamwalker, a device that allows you access to the mind's subconscious. When called upon to use your technology to solve a murder, you must solve puzzles and use your psychological skills while jumping between 3 different dimensions. Find out how deep the rabbit hole goes next year. The Messenger from 2018 blends Ninja Gaiden and the Metrovanias to great effect. The same studio has announced a prequel called Sea of Stars on Kickstarter. This time it takes inspiration from classic JRPGs like Chrono Trigger to deliver a turn-based RPG. There are 2 main protagonists and cooperative play has already been funded, but otherwise information is scarce. That's okay, because it's not scheduled for release on PC and consoles until 2022. Open world games are usually reserved for RPGs, but Lucian plays more like an old school action adventure. When your village goes dark, you must use your supernatural weapons to harness light and return life to your home, including chickens. So start building the coop now in preparation for its 2021 release on PC.